we're live. Great, awesome. Welcome everybody to Travel Tech US and Canada 2021. We are really happy to have all of you here with us today. Today we're going to discuss on this masterclass revenue management, what the new RM strategies will help hotels reach financial recovery more quickly on North America. I'm going to repeat what's going to be the subject today is what new RM strategies will help hotels reach financial recovery more quickly on North America today. So Travel Tech has been created in the last year. I just give it 1 sec. Just 1 second. Sorry, we're live. Sometimes little things happens. So coming back to what I'm saying, Travel Tech has been created last year as to be the first global forum for knowledge for hotels and travel industry all over the world. We did it. We are the first one and the biggest one right now. So we're very happy about that. We are continuing this year to doing the same. So we start this year US and Canada the 8th of March till the 12th. Then in May we're going to have Brazil, Portugal. July will be Asia Pacific. September we're going to do Latin and Spain for Spanish speakers, and we're going to end the year with EMEA on November. So welcome everybody to join us. I just want also to let you know a new option that we have in Travel Tech. If you access traveltech.space, you'll be able to see tech companies. Right now, we are a technological forum and we start doing pitch and sales for the companies that join us this year. So if you want to pick a one-to-one presentation, or you want to know more about all the tech companies that join us this year for Travel Tech the entire year, please go to traveltech.space, then go to the option Tech Companies. There you're going to find all of them. You just click on the icon of the logo of each company and you will have all the information set there. So welcome, I'm Vinicius, founder of Travel Tech. Today, beside of me, I will have my dear friend Zoe from ReviewPro. Welcome, Zoe. I'm so glad to have you here. She will moderate with myself today. So great. And also we have a lot of great companies and speakers and specialists on the market today with us. However, who will present those persons to you? And first, present herself, it's Zoe. Zoe, all yours. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks, Vinny. Thanks. So hi, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of this great event. It's been brilliant so far. And thanks for having me, Vinicius. My name's Zoe Koumbouzi. I'm head of marketing at ReviewPro. So we're world leaders in guest intelligence solutions. And we provide the tools and processes to improve guest experience at every stage of the guest journey. So when thinking about what I was going to say today, my first position in hospitality tech marketing was a good 14 years ago. But it's quite funny to think back to how much has changed, because even before that, when I first started my career, online reviews and online content didn't even exist yet. So in fact, my first part of my career was in print. So there you go, showing my age there. So I've been at ReviewPro for the last 3 years, helping inform and educate hospitality industry about the latest tech trends and really best practices on how to improve everything guest experience. I overview all aspects of the marketing mix here, which includes educational webinars, a bit like what we're doing today, product communications, case studies, guides, partnerships, etc. Please check us out. I have to say that my absolute favorite part of the job is speaking to hoteliers. It's always just brilliant to hear how hotel tech tools, like all ours here today, help them to better their businesses, and especially in these times. So really happy to be here today. As I said, great lineup of experts, and good to be here to do what we can do to help our industry recover and thrive this year. Okay, so anyway, I think it's time to introduce the panelists. First of all, we have Erik Muñoz, CCO at Lybra. Lybra, sorry. Would you like to introduce yourself, Erik?
Yeah, thanks, Zoe. So yeah, Erik Muñoz. I am a one-trick pony. I don't know if that translates into everyone's local idioms, but what I mean by that is hotels and hospitality, that's all I know. So went from high school to hotel school to hotels, and then since 94, before most of you were even born, I've been working in hotel tech. So obviously revenue management technology, but PMS systems, online distribution, CRS, spa, golf, you name it. Hospitality tech is all I know, which really just means if we were to randomly meet at a barbecue or a dinner, I'm such a boring person to speak to, unless you're a hotelier. Then we can chat and laugh and have a great time. So I'm working and representing today Lybra Assistant RMS. Now, Lybra is a very innovative RMS technology, which we spoke about and saw yesterday, in the pitching session. And I'm sure you'll be able to have access to that via a recording in the future in case you missed it live. And Lybra, we are part of the Zucchetti group of companies. So Zucchetti is a very large technology company headquartered in Italy, not super well known outside Italy, but within Italy, they're absolutely iconic and established as a technology leader for the last 30 years. And specifically in the hospitality division, we have about 35,000 hotel customers, mixed between our PMS companies, CRS, RMS, etc. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here today with all my fellow panelists and you, Zoe.
Thanks very much, Erik. Yeah, it's a good lineup. So next up we have Rudy Azevedo. Did I say that right?
Almost. Almost.
At RM Academy.
No worries.
I'm trying.
No worries. It's Rudy Azevedo in Portuguese. That's okay. It's not a very common name, even in Portugal, by the way. So I'm Rudy. I've been working for hotels for the last 20 years. Recently, 3 years ago, I just opened and founded RM Academy. It's the first revenue management training academy here in Portugal, where I'm based. Recently, we just did a rebranding. We are transforming RM Academy into something bigger. It's RM Hub. It's like we have the academy, we have the outsourcing for revenue management, and we also have the sales and marketing outsourcing for hotels. So basically, this is who I am. This is what I do for the last 20 years in the field, and to help hoteliers to have more results by the end of the day, basically.
Fantastic. I think we're all on the same wavelength. And I did see that your website was under construction, so I look forward to seeing that when it's live. Great.
Yes, it is. It will be live in 2 weeks from today. So big news will come very soon.
Great. We'll look out for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Soumya Basu, Regional Director for North America at Erevmax.
Thank you, Zoe. Thanks, Vinny. Hi, everyone. Yes, my name is Soumya. Yeah, thank you. My name is Soumya Basu, and I'm the Regional Director for North America region for Erevmax, Red Tiger. Talking about myself, I come from software and technology industry and working in this industry for the last 17 years and have been with Erevmax, proud to be with Erevmax for the last 7 years in this hospitality industry. So when I first stepped in, I didn't have a clue about what this industry all about. And now after 7 years, and I'm enjoying it and looking for a great period out here with this industry. And now at Erevmax, what we continue to provide hoteliers with solutions that make everyday life simple for the hoteliers, whether it comes to online distribution, data intelligence, or revenue optimization. We, as you all know, we are pioneers in industry since 2001, and we are a one-stop solution. We are a CRS, like we have product ranging from channel manager, we have rate shopper, we have meta search, we have booking engines, you name it, we have it. So yes, I'm pretty excited to be here today, and thanks for having me today on this panel. And I look forward to interesting discussion. Over to you, Zoe.
Welcome, Basu. Nice to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, welcome. Very interesting introduction. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we have Andres Morenos, Hotel Data Science and Tech at Uplift Hospitality.
Thank you, Zoe. Very excited to be here today. I started my career in hospitality when I was 16 years old, and I slowly moved my way to reservations, revenue management, and eventually to technology and consulting. So very excited to be here with this great panel today. I think 2020 was a very tough year for the industry, and I really look forward to our discussions today. There's a lot of valuable information that we're going to be able to share. And yeah, so just excited to be here. I'm co-founder of Uplift Hospitality, and we provide affordable revenue management for hotels by giving them access to a remote revenue manager that can handle a lot of the daily tasks on the rate management and management of the OTA relationship for them. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much, Andres. Thank you. So yeah, I think we can, you know, apart from vendors and representing our companies, you know, one of the really important things I think that's happened over the last year is that we're also focused on really education and really giving to our industry. And so what you said, Andres, about, you know, this being educational material, I'm really on the same line. Saying that, we've got a first question, which is going to have some good...
I'm sorry to interrupt you. For the public, for all the attendants that is here, please, Travel Tech, when you register yourself, when we finish each Travel Tech, we're going to receive a certain international certification concerning the 10 hours with the tip and hints and the strategies that we are speaking all this week for US and Canada. So if you're looking at us on YouTube, you can go and register yourself. You can go to traveltech.space. Like this, you can get the certification. And the most important thing, Travel Tech give to all the hoteliers and all the travel industry to have 5 days consecutive a masterclass without cost at all. And you have the best professionals in each area coming here and answer questions and give you tips and hints. So please, if you have questions and you are in our platform, Webinar Jam, for example, please write down all the questions during the session, okay? If you are on YouTube, do the same on the chat box. And after that, when we finish the first and the second round of questions, we're gonna start asking your questions directly to our special speakers today. Okay, so thank you very much. I count on your questions. Don't forget on the chat, just write down, and we're gonna ask our speakers at the end of the session. Zoe, all to you. Sorry to interrupt. Thank you.
No worries. It's a great reminder. Absolutely. Everybody on the line today, you've got access here to some industry greats. So ask all the questions that you need. So saying that, we've got a great first question, which is going to give some takeaways for our listeners. And the question is, given that you work closely with hotels, what are some of the key revenue generation ideas that you want to share today? Great question. Who would like to go in there?
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Joey. Let me go through it and answer this. So first of all, let's talk about the situation right now in US. We see the COVID vaccination drive is on high right now. I mean, we are seeing like 2.1 million doses being given per day. I mean, last month it was around 1 million doses per day a month ago. So the COVID vaccine is on the major drive right now. Reason being, health, cleaning, safety, health, and hygiene is the first priority as it of utmost importance right now. Now, what the hotels are doing, we are seeing is hotels are getting sanitized every corner of the hotel. They're using ETA-approved agents, virus eliminating UV technologies, temperature scanning, wearing masks, social distancing is there and will be there. Touchless hand sanitizer we're seeing at every corner of the hotels. And the best part is that whenever the guest is checking in, each of the luggages are sanitized using UV technology, and a wellness kit is given to all the guests. Upon checking out, the rooms are kept unoccupied until and unless the complete cleaning process, sanitizing process is done. It's not like just a housekeeping activity, it's a complete cleaning being done. Now, what's the benefit for the hotel in this? This is also a key revenue management strategy, because right now health and hygiene is of first and key importance. Now, when as I'm a guest, if I check into the hotel and I see this hotel is doing so much regarding the cleaning thing and the hygiene thing, giving the most of importance. So of course, when I leave the hotel, I will for sure give a good review in Google, TripAdvisor, Trivago, or maybe the hotel site survey form. And my word of mouth will actually, I spread the word of mouth to all the colleagues and my friends and my family members, which will in turn attract more and more guests for the hotel. So this is the most important point that we're seeing right now going around. And coming up to it, along the hygiene factor is also the contactless technology, automated check-in, check-out, in-room dining, app-based hotel services, and contactless payment. The best part is the contactless payment. You don't need to key in your card inside any machine. There's a terminal out there. You just place your card over there and the payment is done. No PIN required. It's very much safe, secure, a viable hygienic solution, and also superior level of customer satisfaction. Next thing, what we are seeing is the hotels are focusing on direct booking. They're keeping their website updated. They're having a booking engine in place, which is making the brand website into potential source of direct booking. They're allowing the guests to book directly from the brand's Facebook page. They're growing their presence in the meta search engine. And also the hotel have this online reputation RMS in place. So these things are actually the key factors to focus on the direct booking. What we found out in some regions is like statistically, going back to statistics, we know that the tourism isn't projected to return to pre-COVID until next 2 years. Hotel occupancy rates hovering somewhere around 30, 40, max to max 50% right now. And previously we used to see families going out in the summer vacation with the kids for 2 to 3 weeks stay. But this is not happening right now. So what most of the hotels are doing right now, instead of marketing these overnight stays, they're actually focusing on subscription living. So by subscription, we all know that the hotels are giving out the rooms in a very small, in a very less cost, right? Maybe around 2.5K USD per month, something like that. So what is happening right now is that they are actually allowing the guest to make a combo of travel and work. Maybe I have a colleague, we are 5 colleagues, we are tired of working from home 40 hours per week. So I'm seeing a hotel giving a subscription living. So I talk to my colleagues. I say, let's go there for a week. Let's go there for a month, stay there and enjoy both working and traveling. Now, how is it benefiting the hotel? It's not only increasing the monthly revenue, but there's a scope of upsell out there. They're giving a subscription living, but also there's this upsell of other added value-add services like F&B, spa, laundry, and other local activities. And also, they're getting a great customer data and prospect travelers for the future. Next, I would like to highlight about the OTA distribution. Previously, what was happening, most of the hotels were allocating everything to everywhere. What I mean is that allocating all the inventory to all the OTAs. But now what's happening, now as a hotelier, I know that my 60% of revenue comes from these 3-4 OTAs. So I know that I have to pay 15 to 25% commission to all the OTAs. So what I'm doing is I'm being very choosy right now. I know which OTAs will give me more revenue in which part and from which part of the globe. So I am actually playing with the OTAs. I'm actually assigning more. I'm picking and choosing the OTAs and allocating more inventory to channels with more profit. So yes, these are the few key revenue generation ideas which I get to know after speaking with the hotels on a daily basis. And that would be from my end. And over to you, Zoe.
Thank you, Basu. Thank you, Zoe. I just want to make a point in 3 points that I take note here. Cleanliness, I totally agree with you. Basu is really important, but hoteliers need to be very careful and do not transform the hotel and the hospital. So the experience of the guests, I saw a few hotels that you access and you see gloves, masks, looks like, whoa, it is a radioactive accident. If hoteliers do that, that maybe can make the client feel uncomfortable. So we need to try to find, it's not easy, but we need to try to find an equilibrium between those things. Of course,
correct.
It's important to us, or use technology to avoid touch things. So use touchless. Second point, web check-in for security, awesome. Also, yesterday you already spoke about this, but during reception, most of the reception said all the times their rewards. Instead, clients, when they go to the reception, they want to go forward, go to the hotel. They don't want to stay waiting and looking for the awards. They don't care. They just, if they expect half an hour, they said, oh, you're going to have a bad review if you expect half an hour. So that web check-in for security and for other reasons is very important. And also, if you communicate that already by email, but didn't work because the client's there, you need to have an option right now on the receptions. You can set, I don't know, some kind of flyer with a QR code, make the guy just read that and take and use the web checking system they have. And concerning the OTAs, concerning revenue management, the only point that it's very important, the strategy, not concerning DRM at the end, but we need to understand that we have OTAs between 10 till 40% of the market, and those that are up for 25%, there are tour operators that are included, even if they're B2B companies, for example. Hotels normally do a flat strategy. On a standard, and if they set a no refundable, or if they set a long stay, an early booking, or a package, they do the same in all of them. We cannot do that. We need to do promotions based on the kind of commission we have, and try to find a structure. If I have too many clients paying for a place that I pay 25%, you need to find the strategy to make that flow of reservations comes for the less expensive OTAs, and at the same time to your website, and then to your booking agent, for example. That's all that I want to put. If somebody else wants to have an opinion or wants to add something, Zoe, Andres, Erik, Rudy, if nobody wants have nothing to say, I move forward with the next question.
Yeah, I think particularly, in regards to the work from anywhere part of it, I think that's going to take off. We've learned to work remotely. People are hesitant to go back to their office. And the fact that they can just use Zoom, or jump into Teams for a quick meeting allows them to just be flexible. So I think that's, definitely a great point, and something for the hotels to, view as an opportunity in order to capture that type of guest.
Awesome.
Yeah, good Wi-Fi connection has become more important than ever.
Yeah, right.
It was always super important, but it's become more important. And we may have lost, or may never recover entirely the business traveler aspect of travel. But I think that we'll see people, like you said, because of our changing work habits, going on a vacation, and perhaps instead of the 3-day weekend that they might have taken, take a week and work from the hotel that week because they can work remotely. And this is a great opportunity.
The last thing, before I move to the next question, I want to say that I think the most important thing on revenue management at the moment is the hotel knows each is the correct pricing for their rooms, for their hotels. Normally, hoteliers have no idea about pricing. So maybe this will be touched we have all professionals for revenue management here. If nobody will touch this, at the end, I will do this question and someone will answer. Okay, guys, because I also, I think it's very important, give some tips and hints based on that point. Because some hotels, because my competitor sells at $250, so I sell the same. No, no, it's not that way. Okay, let's move to the next question. Thank you everybody to be here again. I'm very glad, very happy to have Travel Tech up and running again. So welcome everybody again. I'm very implicit when I speak, so I be creative, please. Let's move.
Thanks, Vinny.
Welcome. So let's go with Rudy Azevedo, founder and CEO at RM Academy. That will be RM Hub. So, Rudy, let's go. The question is to you, my friend. Concerning all the strategy and the marketing that we know you have the digital marketing applied to RM, that we can do segmentation for channels. We can have prices for Facebook. We can have prices for Instagram. So we can check and find on the market, each price will be for each client, depends on where they're looking to us or from where they comes to get a final reservation. My question to you is, Is your marketing strategy aligned with RM? I'm going to repeat the question. Is your marketing strategy, hoteliers, aligned with your RM? All yours, 5 minutes. Thank you.
If not, it should be. Why? Because more and more the revenue managers, they should work together with marketing and sales and reservations and reception and all the other outlets, but mainly marketing and sales, I would say. It's very common to find revenue managers working alone with all the Power BI tools, all the softwares, and then at the end of the day, the strategy didn't work. And why? Because they didn't work as a team. So that's a very good question, Eric. Vinicius. Marketing, for example, I was just checking a lot of hotel websites before I joined you in this forum, and I just found that many of these websites, they didn't create new reasons to generate new demands. I mean, as a revenue manager working together with my marketing team, I should create like new products. The hotels, they are still selling bed and breakfast, the same room types, the same cancellation policies. It may sound repetitive, but it is a reality. I've just noticed a few minutes ago before joining. So I recommend to work closely with your marketing team to create like new products to generate new demand. And how can we do this? We can create like new offers. I don't know if you've heard about this, but the top most 5 viewed pages in a website is the packages and special offers. So we definitely should create new products by creating new offers like the famous staycation package, the long stay packages, co-work packages, etc. This is just because you need to generate new demands. Things are different from 1 year ago, so you need to work together with your team. And even the rates, people need to understand that people are not looking for discounts. People are looking for safety, as Soumya had just mentioned before. So it's not about discounts, it's not about non-refundable rates, it's about giving this idea of safety to our clients. So we definitely need to understand the way we are communicating with our guests. Are we telling them, listen, we are a safe hotel, we have the masks, we have the hygiene, everything in place. You can come to our hotel. It's a safe place to stay with your family and friends. People need to understand and to work together with the marketing team to analyze the data, as Vinicius just said. Also, we need to understand the segmentation. It's not just about segmentation through the OTAs or through the offline business. Inside Google, for example, you have Google Analytics with so many different segmentations that you can do together with the marketing team, the e-commerce team. So it's about the competitors. Who is my competitor? If you ask that to a revenue manager, it will tell you, look, it's the same kind of hotels as my hotel. No, it's not about that. It's about experiences. And if people are looking for the same kind of experience, it may be a 3 stars, and you may be like a 4 stars or a different kind of hotel, but it may be your competitor. So you need to put everything together and to work as a team. Even the quality score, it's very important to respond to your clients, to create engagement in a way that they can be loyal to your brand, for example. So you need to understand the stay patterns, the restrictions right now for travel. You need to understand in which markets you can do promotions. You can send special offers because some people can travel from, I don't know, from one country to the other, and other they just can't travel. So when I say that revenue managers should work together with marketing, it's because at the end of the day they have exactly the same goal. We need to achieve our budgets. We need to work together. The ways we can get the budget, it's the way we can work as a team. So being in the offline or in the online, we should always work together. And this is my opinion about your question, Vinicius.
Thank you very much, Rudy. I have a few points that I take notes here. I would like to add in your comments. Hoteliers, it's very important for your team, for the revenue management. Right now, I think the best word for a hotelier will change. It's e-commerce. E-commerce is not a guy that do some ads. No, e-commerce needs to be your department, and that department will have 4 lines. 1, revenue management. 2, sales. 3, reservations, and 4, marketing. So you need to have those 4 and 1 person, because that person will manage your channels. Rudy talked about package, link on the marketing and with digital marketing. That's very important. And it is very important that we understand that social media is a channel. Any social media is a channel. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, even TikTok can be a channel to convert. Okay? So we need to understand also from where our guests are coming from. Not for the country or the city they're coming from where they saw us. So it's very important that we try to tag those segmentations. Why? Because I will understand, for example, the public that comes from Facebook, what they buy in the hotel. The people that come from Instagram, what they buy. From LinkedIn, from my mobile. For example, I don't know, I have a partnership with Swarovski, for example. I'm a luxury hotel and I have my hotel on Swarovski as a partner. As an example. I want to know what that client for that website that I have a promotion buy. Why? Because then you will understand what kind of package, what kind of pricing you're going to offer for those different channels to sell. That means you will be able to sell to the different, you have very different kind of persons that go to your hotel. And where they buy and what they buy. So maybe the public for Facebook go to the standard rate and their standard room. Maybe the Instagram go for a higher, and maybe the LinkedIn only go for corporate rooms, for example, or twin rooms. It's just an example. That's all. Thank you. Sorry. Yes, go ahead, Rudy. You have something else?
Yeah, just to add, like, of course, I suppose you've just seen this week, Google, it will offer Google Hotel AdWords free listings. I don't know if you heard about this, but this is like a cascade effect. Today, some of the main meta search platforms, they are contacting the hoteliers to tell them, look, this is free from now on, not Google, these meta search platforms. And this is crazy. Yeah. It will change the way we are thinking.
That, they will lose because Google will lose
yeah,
them.
Of course. Just
to let you know, for example, direct bookings from booking engines that we have a booking engine, for example, is partnered with Google, as an example. When we turn on the connectivity with Google Hotel Ads, not Google Ads, Google Hotel Ads. Man, it's incredible how the percentage of the direct reservations, Google goes for 35%. And then it's very important that you have a fidelization platform system and you're already prepared for that before you connect Google. Like this, you can have that client, you made that client, if they return, to buy directly to you. If not, the commission will be high. I talk too much, but everything is information. Everybody here is too calm. Come on, guys. Let's smile a little bit. Let's put energy. Anybody else want to set some kind of opinion here, or we'll move to the next question?
Yeah, are we allowed to talk as well?
Yes, of course you are.
Okay. So I'm going to make this really brief, but Rudy mentioned a really cool point about in revenue management being more aligned and more thinking towards marketing. So one small example, inside our Lybra Assistant RMS, we have a new module with flight search demand. Now, flight search demand, to understand which markets are looking to travel to your destination, is kind of a marketing thing. However, we've brought this back into the revenue management system to then combine your PMS data, combine flight search data to highlight where you might be missing out. For example, you've got no reservations at all from a certain country, but this country, we have the data to show they are searching for travel to your destination. So this is a small example of how we're moving marketing and revenue management more closely together.
And Erik, it allows clients or hotels to to do like campaigns per IP address, because they know that the demand is coming, I don't know, from New York or I don't know, LA, and they can just organize and run a campaign for those IP addresses. So this is very powerful, putting marketing with revenue.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have no. Zoe, it's all yours, lady.
Fantastic. Yeah, really, really great points there. Okay, so our third question goes to Erik. Talking about the USA hotel market specifically, and not a generic global approach, what can US hoteliers do today that wasn't an option a couple of months ago? So are there any new trends that we should be aware of?
Yes, thank you. Great question. So I'm speaking about the US market in particular, and there is some crossover to Canada, but let's focus on the US market. This month, just a few days ago, TripAdvisor launched a new program called TripAdvisor Plus. So TripAdvisor Plus is basically an option for the hotels to participate for a cost of 0% commission, 0 setup cost, no charge. Okay, so we were talking just now about meta searches moving towards 0 cost. TripAdvisor Plus is a new program. Now, what's the catch? Well, there's no catch. Let me explain. On the flip side, TripAdvisor, to their mostly US-centric membership, are offering this TripAdvisor Plus program as a subscription model. So not the hotel, the guest, the TripAdvisor loyal reviewer who's giving you a score for everything that you do. If you sneeze or you don't smile, they're marking you up and down. All those people, they're paying $99 a year to be part of the TripAdvisor Plus program. So what does the TripAdvisor Plus program give them? There's a variety of benefits, but the hotel controls everything. The hotel controls when it's available, when it's not available, things like discounts or perks, benefits, or amenities, like here's a dining room credit, here's an upgrade for your room type based on availability, free parking, free Wi-Fi, etc. So again, if you, the hotelier, doesn't want to be part of it, no problem. If you do, it costs you nothing. Although you do have to offer something, like I mentioned. And I think for hotels globally, it's super interesting if you are trying to capture the US guest. Now, of course, there are members of TripAdvisor who are not from the US, but it's largely a US-centric platform. And this is something brand new that I think hoteliers not only should consider, but also consider how to use it intelligently. So if you just opt in, you might be diluting potential revenue on days where you don't need to give away perks. But let's be honest, let's be pragmatic, let's be realistic. It's a long time before hotels will be in a situation where they can pick and choose to say, no, don't give them a free breakfast. Look, that'll be great when we reach those peak times of demand. I hope they arrive sooner rather than later. But the expression beggars can't be choosers absolutely applies right now. And I think any zero cost option or anything that benefits the hotel in terms of new bookings or new marketing avenues is a no-brainer. And again, it's just a matter of how the hotelier will choose how to use the promotion and when to not, let's say, be available for these different types of perks if they start hitting peak season or peak demand. So you can Google it, obviously. TripAdvisor's homepage has a very nice link to pretty detailed help text about what the perks are or benefits are on both sides, if you are a guest or you are a hotelier. So I encourage you guys to look at it if you haven't already looked at it.
This is great. This is awesome. What you just bring to us is pretty new. So at the end, TripAdvisor will come as an OTA with a fixed price annually. This is awesome.
Exactly. But if the subscription model is on their consumer side, which is brilliant because it gives TripAdvisor a brand new revenue stream. And of course, the hoteliers benefit because, oh yeah, there's one more thing. Probably one of the best things that it slipped my mind. Guess what? TripAdvisor will give the hotel all the guest contact information, not like Expedia or who hide that detail or obfuscate the email. So you get all of the guest contact details so you can start engaging in that journey and hopefully own the customer for the lifetime. So it's a no-brainer.
Yes, it's outstanding. The only difficult thing that I see there, they will need to really train and speak with the hotel on a daily basis to make hotels understand, to provide them the best price. Because I understand if I pay as a customer to be on TripAdvisor, I would like to have the best pricing, for example. It's something that comes in my head. I don't know if you agree or not. I think the only thing that is a little bit difficult for them will be that. The hotel understand that they need to provide, it's a free channel, you don't pay commission, we give you all the details of the clients, you have all of this stuff here, the fidelizations, you have your own, so this is it's great, it's awesome. Thank you, Erik.
Welcome.
Great.
Yeah,
and,
very interesting. Yeah, having those contact details, you know, even before the guest arrives, to make that sort of pre-stay communication is awesome. I hadn't heard of that, so thank you, Erik. I'm definitely going to read up on that after the session.
And what I think, sorry to interrupt. So what I think is I can link between two words with Erik and Rudy mentioned. Rudy mentioned about customer experience, and Erik mentioned about TripAdvisor passing on these guest details even before the check-in. So what we do on a daily life, and it comes to hoteliers as well, is the experience that matters a lot, because the activity that TripAdvisor is doing right now will actually give a great customer experience with the guests who are staying at the hotel. And this will actually turn this guest to be the loyal guest, and loyalty plays a key role in revenue management. So guest, TripAdvisor's activity, customer experience, loyalty, in turn revenue management. I think it's a life cycle.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Vinicius, are you introducing that next question, or am I?
I think it's yours. It's your question.
Is it me again?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. It's yours. I give you more. I always said the moderator to have more attention than myself. You are the you are the special moderator. I'm the regular guy that is always here, and everybody see the face and say, "Whoa, it's good that Zoe's here." Support Vinicius is Thank you, Zoe. Go ahead, it's all yours.
Okay, great. So this one's for Andres. How should hoteliers approach changes in the business mix for a smoother recovery?
Thank you, Zoe. And I think the very first thing with regards to that question is how we're collecting the data in order to track that data properly. We need to make sure that we have a proper system in place to be able to understand the rate codes that are selling, the business sources that are driving those bookings, and the market segments. If we're not able to train the staff properly, any analysis that we do in terms of business mix, it's not going to be accurate. So you definitely need to make sure that you're collecting and tracking the data, tagging those reservations properly. Like you were saying, Vinicius, a lot of the reservations that come in from the third parties, they don't really get, the hotels don't really receive all the guest profile information. So it's vital that when front desk is checking the guests in, that they input all that information. From there, you have to run some analysis to understand how demographics are changing. Are your guests more of a younger crowd, kind of shifting to more family friendly, or vice versa? One thing we've seen here in Miami, for example, is that the traditional snowbirds that used to come for the warm climate, they didn't come this year in the winter. But instead, we're seeing more of a younger crowd come in for spring break, you know, to party. So it's important to understand how that's changing. And hotels shouldn't be afraid to, you know, go to their competitor hotel, have breakfast there, and kind of see and understand the type of customer that's coming to their competitors, right? If it's a younger crowd, you know, maybe you want to make changes to attract them in a way that maybe you can, you know, scrap the traditional breakfast and use some, maybe throw in like an avocado toast and make it more Instagrammable, right? To attract those type of guests. Are you getting more of an affluent crowd, right? I think one of the things that is going to happen is that people have been locked down and haven't been able to travel. So they've been able to save money, and they're eager to travel as soon as these restrictions start getting lifted. So I think we're going to see an influx of travel as soon as people feel more confident that they can travel safely. So we want to make sure that, you know, we're able to, you know, not miss those opportunities, right? You want to create personalized content for this demographic on your website, on social media, so you can target them properly. I think overall, we need to stop trying to sell our hotel and sell more of an experience and sell more of the destination, you know, kind of as a whole. I think that's what's going to help us, you know, generate and drive in more bookings. Understand what your feeder markets are. If, you know, there's still restrictions in place for people to fly into the destination, maybe you're seeing more driving business, right? So you can use that information to create packages and create special offers for those type of guests. Maybe, and you don't necessarily have to discount their rates. You can create added value by offering the people that are driving in maybe free parking, right? To incentivize those particular people to book your property. If, you know, as restrictions get lifted and you start seeing more of international travel, you know, get with the third-party sites, understand maybe which of these engines are powering the airline websites booking engines, right? And create some sort of geo-targeting that's based specifically to those countries that are coming into your destination.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Andres, for your insights. Zoe, Rudy, Erik, Andres, Basu, someone want to set some comment or add something, please go ahead.
Yeah, just a small comment. I think what you said, Andres, is right, and the segmentation is absolutely key. Knowing where people are coming from, what they're looking for, what's going to drive them to come to your hotel, and, you know, creating those dreams and those desires to travel really starts now. Even though many of us are in lockdown, I know that I'm thinking about my summer holidays already. You know, and we're all guests, and we all know how we feel and how desperate we are to travel. That dreaming phase is now, right? So it's really important to know who you're aimed at here and now. Yeah.
So
thanks.
Everyone, we finished the first round of the questions. We're going to start with the second round now. Zoe will start. Before that, I will do a little change in our schedule. As we have two questions already, we have Pan Zavato that runs a lot of resorts on South California. He has a question for us, so I think we can answer this question straight away. It's a general question, so each one can do and provide their answer. So, Pan Zavato, what type of alternative group segments do you recommend going after as we wait for large group convention business to recover? Or resorts are in Southern California, which has been particularly hard hit with the restrictions on group gatherings ongoing. I'm going to repeat the entire question because it's long. So what type of alternative group segments do you recommend going after as we wait for a large group convention business to recover? Or resorts in Southern California, which has been particularly hard hit with restrictions on group gatherings ongoing? So who wants to give them an answer?
I'm going to give an answer, even though I think it's not a great answer or inspirational. But I think sometimes we all need to hear the hard-hitting home truths, right?
Sure.
With this current situation, to point out the obvious, we're not talking about an aircraft strike. We're not talking about a petrol shortage. We're talking about a very serious health condition, right? Okay. Now, that has to be mentioned to then frame my answer, because large group business is absolutely zero for health reasons. So I understand that this is an area that's suffering mostly, and if your business is primarily catering to that, that's really not looking very optimistic in the short term. So I think the question was, if this type of group business is missing, what other kind of group business can we replace it with? I think that was the question. My answer would be to avoid thinking about group gatherings like the law is currently indicating, but to focus on your 2 hour, maybe 2.5 hour driving radius from your hotel. Get Google Maps, draw a circle, 2 hours or 2 or 3 hours drive from your hotel, and that's the catchment area. That's your market. Make it a challenge. Challenge your sales team, challenge your marketing team to come up with who are the different businesses or organizations or schools or universities who are living in this catchment area, because they are your potential market. Not group business. I'm not talking about group business, but they are your potential visitors. Now, if you can accept, at least temporarily, the fact that group business is off the table for now, then think about how you can use your existing asset, the property, the resort, the facilities. Because I can be sure that a lot of people who are, let's say, your neighbors, a lot of people who live close to you, and if you really are a group resort, probably haven't had the opportunity to visit because you don't maybe always cater for the local market. Now, I'm guessing, I haven't done any analysis, obviously, but they may love the opportunity to stay, to visit, to share some of your amenities and facilities. And that, for me, sorry to be so cold initially, but unless I didn't hear the question correctly, I don't think you can replace group business with another form of group business.
Yeah,
at least.
No, you clearly understood the question. Yeah. Yes, it's totally correct. I totally agree with you. And right now, real business is out of the table. MICE is out of the table. We can have some kind of hybrid events, but hybrid events don't will occupy your hotel or for the spaces. So you need to find, as Erik says, 200 for 450 kilometers. Find the business that will be there and try to make partnerships or offer for small groups, or try even to adapt it for your marketing team to get those customers coming directly to your hotel. That's also if you're gonna use ads, Facebook ads, Insta ads, try to tag on that radio if you want, because it's the radio that you're gonna have most people that can go directly to you. A lot of people, we know that US is normally flying the airplane, but we know not all of them are full for visiting. For corporate, for example, they're not. For leisure, they are. So we have a second question. It's from Jing Duang. Jing Duang, the question that you request us is not for this subject. I'm gonna read it. Maybe we don't answer this on Friday. Jim, I invite you to join masterclass. On Friday, we're going to have, on Monday, we got Expedia, and we're going to have Amelia.travel. That is a new OTA, but not an OTA. But they will be able to answer this, and we're going to have a lot of companies that is for distribution. But I will read the question from John Duang. How are OTAs planning to enable vaccine passports to help travelers make it easier to book travel? I really don't have the answer for that. I don't know. I think in this panel we don't have the answer. If somebody have it, please go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't quite follow the question.
Sure, I'm gonna repeat it. How are OTAs planning to enable vaccine passports to help travelers make it easier to book travel? I'm going to repeat the question. How are OTAs planning to enable vaccine passports to help travelers make it easier to book travel? So at the end, how OTAs will help them to get the vaccine passports? I really don't know about this, but normally the vaccine, to have the vaccine, you have to need a vaccine and present this at the end.
Yeah, well, I think firstly, speak to an OTA, obviously, but I think the OTA are the middleman. The OTA are just the one in the middle who facilitate the booking. They just need to support whatever government legislation is in place. Now, if you're a property in Greece or a traveler in Israel, those two countries are setting up a travel corridor or a travel bubble where they can freely travel between those two destinations. But I presume we're speaking about the US now and what the OTAs might do. The OTAs will do whatever's required by governments' health mandates. So when we learn what that is, the OTAs will naturally have to adapt. But I think it's definitely too soon to say because the law hasn't been established yet. But speak to an OTA because they might be already planning around it.
Thank you, Erik. Thank you very much. So the two first questions has been answered already. We get the response. So for all the attendants, if you have more questions, please write down. We're going to start with the second round of questions. And at the end, if we have more questions, we also will request your professionals here to answer those. So thank you very much, everybody. Zoe, I'm back to you again. All yours.
Thanks, Vinny.
Welcome.
So this question's for Soumya. Something we all can't wait to see. Travel demand is expected to start rising soon, slowly but steadily. So how should hotels prepare to attract and capture guest bookings?
Thanks, Zoe, for the question. Allow me to answer kindly. Yeah, travel demand is expected rising soon. That's in everybody's mind. I mean, we have not stopped dreaming about travel. We all want to travel. So we want to see travel happening soon. It's better for everyone. Now, how should hotels prepare to attract and capture guest bookings? Most of the things we have discussed, but just to enlist some of the points, of course, the growing focus is on Book Direct. Now, the first pointers to focus on the Book Direct, it's a website. The website has to be up to date with all the room type, rate plan details, latest property images, and search engine optimized content. They need to ensure that the brand.com shows up relevant search results in Google everywhere. So we have seen some hotels are giving the discount codes in the website itself to stimulate the direct bookings. And also, most important is on the website, if you have to highlight what are the health and safety protocols as per COVID measures you are taking as a hotelier. Because if the hotel does not have a proper website yet or wants to revamp the website, now is the time to do that. Because now it's something like the travel is starting to rebound, maybe not right now, maybe in Q2, but it's the right time right now for the hotelier to revamp the website. And as per the US government law, whenever a hotel website needs to be revamped, it's necessary to make it ADA compliant so that everyone, including persons with disabilities, can enjoy full and equal use of the hotel website. Secondly, given today's uncertain times, it's critical for the hoteliers to offer the flexible booking policies. Like most of the hotels we have seen, they are making non-refundable stays as fully refundable, flexible cancellation policies for all new and existing bookings, and flexible policies to all the changes. So it's about all being flexible. You have to have the flexible booking policies for the hotels. Another important point, which I think would be to implement the rate strategies like early booker rates, last minute deals, promotional rate plans, country rates, mobile rates. They will actually help to target customers and create a specific packages for various market segments. Another good option or good point for this question will be the hotel management. They have to maximize revenue is to create the packages, and they will actually allow the customers, the guests, to pay for more than just a room. It's about focusing on add-on services, products like spa, like other add-on services on the hotel. That might include package deal like including meals, bicycle, golf course, access to golf course and equipment, so on. Length of stay will also play a critical role out here, because if right now I'm not going everywhere as a guest. Now I go to one hotel with my family, and I think initially I've booked for 3 nights. Now I go to hotel, I am very quite satisfied with the experience in the hotel, and the hotel offers me during my stay in. The hotel offers me to stay longer. They're offering me a good package, some deal. If I stay for more than 3 nights, if I extend my stay to 7 nights, they will give me a good deal. So I'm happy with the hotel. I don't think it's something wrong for me to extend my stays. So that's where the length of stay also comes into picture. Loyalty, as I already said, is a key way to earn new business. Like there are a lot of hotels who have loyal guests coming throughout the year. So maybe the guest doesn't know. The guest knows that the hotel is closed right now. They're not keeping a tab. So what's happening? Sometimes the hotelier may get back to the hotel, their loyal guests, because they have their database. They know who are the loyal customers. They get back to the hotel, the guest over the email or the phone call and say, hey, we are opening on next month. So why don't you pay a visit? And you being a loyal customer to us, we're offering this discount or offering this package for you. So this is another point. And lastly, but not least, social media. It's a key channel nowadays for the hotels to tap. Wherever your guests are, your guests might be busy working for office every day throughout the week, or might be some other place, but you are there on the social media. You're a social media follower for the hotel. So you know what's going on. So the hotels needs to keep them updated in the social media for their followers so that they know what's going on in the hotel and they want to come back to the hotel and stay. So yes, these are the few points I wanted to highlight in alignment to this question. Over to you, Zoe.
Yeah, thank you, Soumya. There's a lot of great takeaways there. Really, really a lot of material. And the one thing I wanted to comment on only was really that your hotel website, I mean, going back to the e-commerce, that we were talking about earlier, your hotel website is your shop front. So even if as a hotel right now, unfortunately, you're closed down, your website's always open. So it's absolutely vital that it's up to date, it's optimized, you've got your booking engine integration there, ready for your guests 24/7. And so when guests are in that dreaming phase, as we spoke about before with Andres, they're going there and they're getting the right information and hopefully booking in advance. Yeah.
I just want to say something very fast. As US and Canada, they're having massive vaccination. So we expect that US and Canada goes out very fast right now. At least in the next 3 months, 4 months, we will start seeing a recovery in different segments. Be flexible on the rate plans and your policies. It's great, but dependent on each area that your hotel is based in, if you have a maximum vaccine, you can come back and go, for example, a little bit more aggressive on offers with no refundable. Just it's tip. Be flexible, but do not be so flexible if your state will have a lot of vaccine. That's the problem. But in Brazil, nobody has vaccine, or people stay forever. But it's because Brazil.
Yeah, it depends on the hotel. It depends on where the location is. Right, Vinny.
So we go to the next question. Somebody else want to add something here? If not, I move with Mr. Erik Muñoz. Okay, let's move to the next question. Next question is Erik Muñoz, CCO at Lybra RMS system. So Erik, what common hotel strategies should hoteliers rethink, change, or adapt in the new pandemic situation? I will repeat the question. What common hotel strategies should hoteliers rethink, change, or adapt in the new pandemic situation? All yours, you have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So I've got a couple of suggestions. The first one is to rethink how you distribute and sell your rooms online. The US market typically, on average, distributes with up to from 1 to 4 or 5 different OTAs plus GDS. Okay, that's the average profile for a US hotel. Now, by contrast, in Europe, the average is more like 5 to 8 different OTAs and then they may or may not participate in GDS. GDS is almost an automatic consideration in the US, but in Europe, hotels may opt in or may opt out. Now, in Asia Pacific, the average number of OTAs hotels sell on is between 15 and 18. And again, they may or may not go into GDS. Now, these are observations I've made from working in channel management space with obviously US customers and international customers. It always stuck in my mind because I didn't think there'd be such regional variances. Now, speaking to the US hotelier here, start adding more channels. Now, you might be a hotel that's not on the gateway cities like LA, San Francisco on the West Coast, or New York, Boston, Miami on the East Coast, New York on the East Coast, where you're getting a lot of international business. Okay, maybe you're in the Midwest or something like that. But again, it costs you nothing to list yourself and distribute on other OTAs until a booking arrives, and then you've got to pay some commission. But it always escaped me why that was the trend, because there certainly is no financial penalty. And right now, when we're looking for every bit of business we can get, and you may have a bit more time, possibly, start adding C-Trip, for example, or Agoda, for example, or Make My Trip, or Go Ibibo, or Ostrovok, or Rakuten. And I could go on and go on and go on, because it's like a supermarket brand. I don't know what the number one supermarket brand is in Brazil, but I bet Brazilians do. But I can tell you about Tesco and Aldi and Sainsbury's here in the UK. OTAs are a little bit like a supermarket brand. Customers like to go to what they're familiar with. And if you want at least an option of business from these different source markets, it's something to think about. And the second one, really briefly, is just following on from what Vinicius was saying, but I'm going to say it in a different way. Drop your non-refundable rates. Stop selling non-refundable. Don't do it. Don't do it. If people have to cancel because all of a sudden the vaccine they had a side effect, do you want to be that person? Do you want to be like the airlines who are famous for never doing anything non-refundable? Don't be that person. So obviously, when business starts returning and things look better, of course, introduce non-refundable rates where it's appropriate. But for right now, drop it. Please drop it. We need to be flexible. And it's your flexibility that hoteliers will remember when times come back. They won't forget that flexibility. And that's it for me.
Great, Erik. Thank you very much for your insights. Somebody else, Basu, Andres Moreno, Rudy, Zoe. Somebody else want to make a point here? Give some tips, some hints? Nothing? We move forward with the next question?
No, just to piggyback off of Erik here, by adding more exposure, you're creating additional visibility for the hotels. And ultimately, that visibility will lead to more customers and more volume coming towards your website. That's called the billboard effect. And you can capture those bookings, direct, where you're not going to pay higher commissions. You should be, building ADR by capturing those guests through the billboard effect. By being exposed and visible on all these other channels.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also, I mean, if you say, Erik, that, for example, in the US, not many hotel brands are doing that, well, that's a great opportunity for the early adopters to get in there. And, so whoever's out there, do it first, because you're going to get that exposure before the masses do. That's an amazing opportunity. I think that's a great takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't know the US like a local, but surely you have university students that are not all locals. University students might be originally from China or other parts of the world. If their family or friends are looking to visit them, you can be sure they're looking at their local OTA brand, not necessarily Get a Room or Expedia or whatever US brand you're distributing with. So remove those blinkers, broaden your distribution, because you probably do have that time available right now to do it. And I don't really I can't understand any possible objection to that.
Thank you.
Basu, you have something?
Yeah, just one thing I can relate to this, what Erik said. I guess hoteliers choosing local OTAs, one of the most other reasons right now is the domestic travel. Domestic travel is a big thing right now because the borders are closed. Domestic travel is happening right now. So that is the reason I guess most of the hoteliers choosing local OTAs right now. But again, like, yes, what Erik said, I can't agree more. I mean, that's spot bang on. I mean, what he said, that the local OTAs are like a market out there and the hoteliers go and choose from the local OTAs what they prefer. Yeah, correct.
So another thing that that it's positive for the leisure, not for the corporate hotels, but for the leisure market right now. If we check the Pacific and the Atlantic side of Mexico, and if we check Brazil, that is the only two countries that are still open for the entire pandemic, that the hotels just have to close for 15 days, 2 to 3 weeks maximum till this start. They increase their have occupations up to 80% or more, and their pricing is 15 to 35% higher than last year. So than 2019, for example. That is what happens in those two countries that never close at the end for the leisure. That's a good thing. So I just want you to put this in the prospect, because normally people think that pricing will be an issue. Pricing is not. We cannot do offers on everything. Sometimes maybe you can increase your pricing target to get more revenue. Or if you are a corporate, for example, we have a case with a hotel here in São Paulo as an example. During the pandemic, we make them grow on revenue. However, we make them goes down on reservations. Why we apply this strategy? We put a higher price, they make more money, and the expenses of the hotel drop it a lot. So sometimes depending on the strategy we're gonna use. But all of them can be effective if it's correctly applied. So that's all. I go to the next question. It's my turn again. Oh, you saw Zoe? It's not only you. I also go 2 in a row. Let's go, guys. So the next question is for Andres Moreno, Hotel Data Science and Tech at Uplift Hospitality. So Andres, with the lack of business travel, hotels have shifted a lot of their inventories to OTAs. How can hotels ensure they are still able to get the fair share? I will repeat the question. With the lack of business travel, hotels have shifted a lot of their inventory to OTAs. How can hotels ensure they are still able to get their fair share? Up to you, 5 minutes, please.
Thanks, Vinny. Yeah, and you know, we talked about the high commission from the OTAs, but you know, it's really you know, on one side you have the high commissions, on the other, you know, they're bringing in the bookings. But one of the first things you need to do is evaluate your concept, right? If you're traditionally a property that's focused on capturing the business traveler, and you're looking and monitoring your concept, which is other properties also focus on competing for that segment, you may want to rethink that strategy and look for a different concept. You know, there's so many hotels in the market. The OTAs provide full transparency. So look, you know, and search what other properties are offering similar amenities that may be nearby, that are stealing, you know, part of that market share from you. Look at vacation rentals, right? How are vacation rentals impacting your business? So you definitely want to, you know, expand, because, you know, maybe 4 or 5 hotels are no longer enough as part of your concept. You know, you need to expand that and really have a good overview of the whole market and where things are going. The other thing you want to look at, we discussed this, review your content, descriptions, health and safety. You know, make sure that all of those messages are clearly stated on your website, so that when customers land on your website, they're able to see that you're proactive in you know, addressing these health and safety concerns. They need to feel comfortable booking your property. so that they can, you can ultimately capture that booking. When you go on the OTAs, we also see some properties that have, 10, 15 different room types. Try to consolidate that so that when customers are shopping around, they're not confused by listing so many room types. A lot of times we see all these room types with the same photo. So just try to make everything clean, so that the customers book you instead of your competitor, right? You can also do, some of these OTAs offer some sort of pay-per-click or page positioning ranking tool. Try to utilize that to your advantage. Yeah, you'll pay a little bit more commission, but at the end, if they're bringing in the booking and creating that volume that you need, it might be something very helpful. You can also look at your booking window. With the pandemic, we've seen that the booking window has shrunk so much. And, for years we've talked about the booking window shrinking, but I think the pandemic just, really shrunk that window to, 3 days before arrival, 4 days before arrival. Understand that, as restrictions get lifted and people start planning ahead, in advance, that booking window is going to start moving back out. You want to make sure that you're capturing your fair share for every sector of that booking window, that you're not missing out on early bookings, that you have the right rate strategy far in advance so that you can capture a base business, through the middle section and then very last minute as well, so that you're able to really maximize on every opportunity possible.
Thank you so much, Andres, for your insights.
Absolutely. Yeah, good points there. I think as well, like Erik said earlier, Andres, it's the perfect time now to go back, look at your website with fresh eyes, your descriptions and everything. It is, unfortunately, it is a time when there's not a lot of other work. So it's the time to reassess your website, your tech stack, your strategies, definitely, and be ready because it's going to come back, and
yeah.
strong.
Yeah, and if you see customers coming in, within the week, maybe you don't want to offer, so many promotions for that period, right? Maybe you want to try to incentivize the customer, with some discounts or added value promos, a little bit further out, right? So you're not cannibalizing your own sales. With length of stays, it's the same thing, right? If your length of stay has increased from maybe 2.5 to 3 or 4 night stays, try to incentivize by providing a weekly discount, right? So customers stay a little bit longer at the property.
Yeah, some great strategies there.
Just one point. When we spoke about, I'm a specialist in developing platforms to direct sales and distribution and digital marketing. And also concerning any kind of KPIs from different scripts or tabular pixels that we use or different segmentations. The most important is that hotel needs to understand one thing. When we saw websites, most of them, they have too much text. People get lazy right now. We are in a moment that humanity, in some point, we're moving forward in a lot of things. But one thing that we're turned down and going back is like before we read everything in information. Right now, it's visual. People use this. 92% for the visualization of your hotel comes from here. Your bookings is not yet in 90% and all over the world, but you have 60% computers and 35, for example, mobile. However, 90% see you here. And if they decide, and 70%, this is from 2007 till today, this didn't modify at all. The behavior of the customer is, I see you in TripAdvisor, and Trivago, and Booking, Expedia, Hotel Beds, what else? Doesn't matter. I saw you there. When they go to 70%, the people that decides that they will buy your hotel, they go to your website. What they will looking for? They're not looking for the rooms or more information most of the time. they go directly to see pricing. Is the most will be the pricing. However, when we go to the website, I need to read. I cannot find the reservation button, or if I have a reservation button, I go there. Maybe I don't have a booking engine. If I have a booking engine, I set a person to put the dates, and I make a very long, stressful reservation with 4 or 5 steps. This is the worst thing for a customer. So the most important thing, my website, use slides, set 3 slides with your promotions. A first slide concerning right now how what you're doing is safety. And you can put a button, read more about it. And up there above you said, reservations here, a book here, now, come on, come here. Second slide, show your rooms, show some package. After that, they have the white get to search. And under the white get, don't lose your time setting up a lot of writing sayings or my restaurant. No, that part of a website needs to have simple and easy. 3 offers, 3 packages for right now or for the future. If you have that, it's simple, you're gonna sell. If you try to make fancy stuff, writing too much, people will take the patient, and then they go out of your website and go directly into booking.com or any other in the market. That's all I need to say. Thank you. Sorry. The last question is for Zoe.
Well said, Vinny. Every person that comes to your website is a hot lead. They should not be leaving without booking. Maybe you need a chatbot.
Correct.
Okay, so last question to Rudy. How to correlate your RM KPIs with Google metrics to boost sales? It's a good one.
That's a good question. Thank you, Zoe. It's very complex. It's a very complex question. I will do my best. I will try. So how can I correlate my RM KPIs to Google Analytic metrics? Wow. Okay. So what about, let's start. So RM KPIs, they give me room revenue and all the other revenues from the other outlets. Okay. So I can have this kind of information from my RMS, from STR reports, etc. Right? So from Google Analytics, I have all the information that gives me the trends and changes over time that people are looking for, right? So what about if we could mix everything like a cocktail and to increase my occupancy index, my ADR index, and my RevPAR index? It would be great, right? So how could I improve my occupancy index through this kind of mix? Usually we need to work some factors to increase my occupancy through using my RMS or my STR reports and my Google Analytics altogether. So we need first to work the awareness of our brand. We need to have, as we've just mentioned before, a great website with great content, great apps to our clients, local maps, things to do to our clients know what they can do. We need to have display ads, email marketing, etc. So this is about creating awareness to our brand together with Google Analytics, where we can understand the moves that people are looking for and the numbers that we have, by the other hand, from our Power BI tools. So we need to work on the audience as well. We need to do the right segmentations on every campaigns we are running on google.com, for example. So that's another question regarding to try to drive occupancy through Google Analytics and through Google and through our KPIs. We need to engage clients, of course. We've spoke about loyalty programs. We spoke about fresh content, meta search, social media, paid advertising, etc. And of course, we need to work on the conversion side. Most of the websites, it depends by country, but in some hotels, they have like 50% of their bookings from their websites. In other realities, they have like 5%. It varies. It's very different. But we definitely could work together and to mix all the information from Google Analytics and all the information from our Power BI tools to drive occupancy. Again, work together. It's like marketing and sales and revenue all the time. And what about ADR? How can I improve my ADR index through this mix? So the clients, the way they understand the perception of value of the room they just book, it's through it's through the quality score in our website, right? So if I have a good quality score, great content, great engagement, people will feel comfortable to book my rooms. So they will feel comfortable to pay a little bit more than my competitors because they will have more benefits, more quality. So this is about the way we can improve our ADR. We should definitely have these kind of tools in our website, like OTA, rate displaying widgets, direct messages to our clients, banners, flash sales opportunities in a private way to our clients. So this is one of the ways to improve ADR directly and to understand in a real time with Google Analytics. And what about RevPAR index? We all like to have the best RGI possible, as much as we can get. So what about if we can improve my index, and how? So as I mentioned before, packages and special offers are in the top 5 most viewed pages in the websites. Most of the hoteliers, they do not believe in packages. Why? Because I can say, oh, look, I've worked for 20 years in the field. Usually packages, they don't sell well. Let's focus on corporate business or in leisure business, right? So if you see the most of the packages you will find in the most of the hotel websites, it's always the same. It's bed and breakfast, park and go, it's a romantic package. It's almost all the same. We should definitely look at our hotel, and again, as Soumya said, as Andres mentioned already, and Erik as well, it's about experiences. If you have a special hotel where you can upsell your clients by, for example, $50 more, and you can have like a picnic basket for you to have an experience, you will do the promotion for me. You will do the advertising in the social media, and you will pay more for your room. So and again, it's a kind of a mixture that it works well. You can work with the KPIs together with the Google Analytics, because by one hand, you have all the information, you have all the trends in real time, you can check, you can change, and you can just adapt. And this is about hospitality. We need to adapt all time. And this is one of the ways we can definitely look to our KPIs, because we are often, we usually look to our KPIs just for the numbers. We really need to understand, because everything is changing constantly, and we need to be aware of that, to be ahead from our competitors, right? So I would say that, yeah, to boost my sales, to be ahead from my competitors, I need to be innovative. So this is one of, I usually correlate the trends from Google Analytics with the RMS information that I have, and I try to get the best from the business. And this is what I just would like to share with you.
Awesome, Rudy. Awesome.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Rudy. I think, that point that you made, now more than ever, it's the time to innovate. You look at, again, e-commerce, you look at some of, other business outside of hospitality, businesses that have made it, they've tried, they've tested, we know this in marketing. It's the same with your packages and your offers. You've got to think outside the box now. This is really the time to do that. And we have the tools and we have the technology to immediately measure that success and then adapt it. So it's an opportunity out there for hoteliers. Thank you. I think that was really insightful.
So everybody, we finished the second round of questions. We have 2 questions here from the public, and we have 1 question from my side. We have a question for Amanda Abbott. Strategies for increasing revenue while competing with Airbnb offerings. So I will take the lead. I'm so sorry. I want you to answer this one. First of all, Airbnb is not a competitor of the hotel. It's another channel, first. Second, if you're not an Airbnb yet, please go, inscribe yourself there, negotiate your commission, and offer your hotel in Airbnb. How you offer it? Don't offer for a single night. Go for long stays for 3, 4, 5, 7, and 15 days. And you will see how much reservations will drop to your hotel through Airbnb. Airbnb is not an enemy. It's just another channel. They start with reservations focus on personal apartments or or houses and etc. But it's a long time already, more than 2 years and a half, 3 years. They accept and they have a platform to sell your hotel also. So don't look at Airbnb as a competitor. It's better look to them as a new channel, a different channel where you can sell long stays, as an example. I recommend you to connect with them. They are not your enemy at all. And this question we had the last year in all the events all over the world, the request, this question. I always answer the same. If somebody else wants to say something, go ahead. If not, I go to the next question.
Yeah, I'll add something that, I completely agree with Vinicius. It's not a competitor, it's a channel. But I'll also want to share what might be obvious, but sometimes can be overlooked. But the person, Miss Abbott, I think it was it Amanda Abbott who asked the question?
Yes, I'm going to repeat her name. Just 1 second, so I'm so sorry. Amanda Abbott,
yeah.
That's listening to us now, yes.
Yeah, so I just want Amanda to think about, if she doesn't immediately know, why do people choose Airbnb over a hotel? I've definitely chosen Airbnb sometimes over a hotel, sometimes not. But if you really understand why, then think about how you can package and brand your guest stay experience at your hotel, not so it's like an Airbnb, because it's a different, let's say, it's a different perception in most consumers' minds. But what are the things that people appreciate? Well, number one, you have a connection to the local market when you stay with Airbnb. It's a residential home or an apartment. Okay, that's one. So the architecture is different. When you wake up in the morning, you absolutely know you're in a different location. Whereas you wake up in a Holiday Inn Express, it could be Berlin, it could be Anaheim, California. The inside looks exactly the same. So think about maybe theming some of your rooms based on different neighborhoods, because Airbnb will be located in one particular street, in one particular building. You have multiple rooms. You could, if you wanted to, theme different rooms in the style of different famous precincts or neighborhoods, depending on where you're located. That's one. That's maybe a little bit expensive to do, but think about that. Number two is, when you're staying with Airbnb, they encourage owners to leave recommendations, suggestions. It's usually a pretty tacky book. Like, it's a piece of paper that's been looked at by 50 people and it's dirty, and it might be in a plastic sleeve. But anyway, the recommendations are gold. So I remember, I'll never forget, one time when I was in Paris and I stayed in a really cool apartment, and the host had left me a note. This is where I buy my croissant. This is my favorite place for a coffee. It wasn't the cafe next to where she lived. No. I had to go around, down, through the lane. But guess what? I had the best croissant. Now, you know what? That was 4 or 5 years ago, and I can still remember it. So you in the hotel, I used to work as a concierge. We used to take pride, if a guest asked us for a recommendation, we'd take pride in giving them the very best recommendation. Well, it depends what sort of person you are, blah, blah, blah. And then you could recommend a restaurant, a cafe, a shop, or a tour, etc. So I guess what I'm talking about are the fundamentals of amazing hospitality. But Airbnb have kind of industrialized. They've made it easy for the owner by following a checklist. Leave a Coke and a beer and a wine for them when they arrive, because they won't be expecting it and they'll love it, right? They give the owners all these tips to create this magic of hospitality, which unfortunately is lost in many hotel experiences. So these are a few things to think about, how you can step up your game, if you're not already there, in a way that Airbnb are trying to do.
Awesome, Erik. Thank you very much for that great response. Zoe.
Erik, you're speaking ReviewPro language there. I love it. Create remarkable experiences. There's, Soumya said it right at the beginning. As we say, reputation equals revenue, and it's so true. That experience has stayed with you for 4 years. That's outstanding. That's a great example. Thank you.
So we have two more questions. One for the public and one mine. I will go with mine first because I come first. No, not because the public always first. But just we have this one. We have 10 minutes to finish. The last one will be a little bit large, maybe. I would like that the expertise as Erik, Andres, Rudy, Basu, Zoe. The question is the one I told you before, guys. So, how is the tip and hint that you would like to provide to hotels to make them understand how they can create their pricing? What is the fundamental to know what's my best price? It's looking to my competitor. It's looking only at the market. What I need to do to find out. Of course, they need to know how much will cost each room. That is the minimum they need to know. But I want your tips and hints as we have a specialist here. Who will start? Please.
Yeah.
Okay, Erik, go ahead.
I'll make it short. So go to Lybra.tech, Lybra.tech, click on the request for a demo, have a look at the system, but then actually implement it in your hotel for a free trial, because you'll have all of your competitor rate shopping data, all of your PMS business intelligence data, plus flight search demand data, and many other features that I think we can talk about what systems look like, feel like, smell like, but unless you've actually experiencing it in your environment, it's different. So go to Lybra.tech.
I will take the hook from Erik, because from Lybra you cannot book with the CRM directly, but with us you can. So if you want to book a presentation directly using the CRM of Lybra, go to traveltech.space, tech companies. Lybra is there, RM Academy, it's also there, ReviewPro is there. We have a lot of companies where we have set their own CRM. So if you go there, you'll be able to book a one-to-one presentation based in your time zone, your geographical zone. So go ahead, go to traveltech.space, go there to the option Travel Tech Companies, and there you'll be able to book a presentation, maybe with Erik or somebody from the team of Lybra. The same with revenue with RM Hub, the same for Erevmax, and the same for ReviewPro. Rudy, you want to say something? Go ahead, my friend.
Yes. How can we create pricing? We can definitely not to call standard rooms to my rooms. I can change the name from the room types. So let's call a standard room a city view room, interior room, deluxe room, whatever, but let's create value or the perception of value to my room types. If you have like similar rooms, but some of them are twin rooms, the other ones are double bedrooms, and if your demand is more for couples, let's make a difference between the twin rooms and the double rooms, even with the same room type. You will create this idea of value. You will do like upselling, you will do more money. Let's put inside of the room like some packages, some offers to create like this idea of VIP rooms with espresso and a cookie or something like that. Let's create these added values. Let's create the idea and the perception of value to the client to make it pay more for the room. This is just some of the ideas I wanted to share with you. Because we really did this to some of our clients and it worked very well.
Awesome, great. Thank you very much, Rudy. Let's go to the last question. Yes, somebody else wants. Basu, please go ahead. Andres, if you want to say something, please, man, don't be shy. Please go ahead and say it. Just let us know. We want to listen to you. Go, Basu, please.
Yeah. So I just want to answer your question, like how do you demand the cost of a pricing of a room? So just three factors any hotelier or any revenue manager need to know about it. Number one is the costing. What is the present costing of the hotel? One is what is the expense? There are a lot of expenses like the burden cost, burden expense, added expenses for the hotel. And what is your likely rate of ROI? So if you know your cost, if you know your expense, and if you know your ROI, return on investment, then of course that will help you to make your pricing. That's I'll keep it that short.
Thank you very much, Basu, for your insights. Somebody else? If not, we go to the last question. Okay. Yes, Andres, please go ahead, man.
Yeah, just jumping in real quick. I'll make it short. You definitely want to have you definitely want to have different pricing structures, right, to target different type of guests for different booking windows and different length of stay. So it's not just, you know, coming up with one price. It's more like coming up with a strategy that works for different segments and different customers. That's all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I will say is an hospitality group. Maybe if I wrongly pronunciate the hospitality, I'm so sorry. If from the US, it's a sheer hospitality group. They are requesting us from US. How do you the risk of recovery in the post-pandemic world for traditional hotels in view of the rise of companies like AutoCamp, Gateway, Turnkey, and others, and US market? The question is a little bit, I'm going to repeat it. So how do you see the risks of recovery in the post-pandemic world for traditional hotels in view of the rise of companies like AutoCamp, Gateway, Turnkey, and others, and US market? Chang chang chang.
Vinicius, can you repeat the question from
Sure,
exactly.
Sure. It's very. I got it easier. I will forward to you guys. I will forward to you on your WhatsApp. Okay, the questions I think will be easier. Like this, all of you. Maybe also Zoe can do a better pronunciation as he's in English, or even Erik. I'm fluent English, but I'm not. I'm not an English person at the end. So I'm just forwarding you guys the. So you have in your WhatsApp, Zoe, if you want to repeat and provide. It's very tricky, the question.
It's quite a wordy question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And we need to provide some kind of answer.
But we're gonna do it. Don't worry, everyone. We're gonna answer it. Okay. How do you the risks? How do you avoid? Is there a word missing there? How do you mitigate the risks of recovery in the post-pandemic world for traditional hotels in view of the rise of companies like AutoCamp, Gateway, Turnkey, and others for the US market?
Okay, thank you. That was definitely helpful to see it written down. I think there's a spelling mistake or a typo. I don't think they mean Gateway. They've written Gateway. That's not a thing. Anyway, AutoCamp and FlipKey. FlipKey is vacation rentals. AutoCamp is also like the ability to book Yosemite National Park or camping sites or unique. And I think the question was, we are a regular hotel. How do we compete with these other things? And they've mentioned vacation rental or campsites. They're not your competitors. Other hotels are your competitors. Maybe some Airbnb inventory are your competitors. But whether I am traveling by myself or with my family or with my colleagues, I'm going to stay at a hotel for particular reasons, or I'm going to go to a vacation rental for other reasons, and I might go to a lively campground experience for other reasons altogether. It's very small. If we had a Venn diagram of the circles and how they overlap, the overlap of when a guest might consider, you know what, I'm not sure, will we book a hotel or will we book a camping ground? Or will we book a vacation rental? The crossover isn't there. So I completely understand the sense of feeling threatened or the fear of guests choosing alternate accommodation. I think specifically, we're talking about the pandemic.
Sorry to interrupt you, Erik. The lady already sent another question, just a short question about that. I also jumped on your WhatsApp if you want to check it out. She just did a resume. Here's I'm asking about risks for the short mid-term recovery post-pandemic. I just want to add what she just wrote to us. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm so sorry.
Okay. All right. Super confusing. Let me finish.
Yeah, sure.
So there is a fear. There is a fear of a guest or a type of traveler who has just come through this pandemic, and they want to know that when I travel, everything will be clean, following best practices. Now, would I go to a hotel with a lobby full of people, with an elevator squashed full of people, with a restaurant buffet full of people sneezing over the buffet? Do I want that perception? Or we have a vacation rental, it's just our family, a big backyard for the children, or we're going to the forest and we're going to the mountains and we have lovely fresh air. Okay, I think that's what the question really is. With people being maybe extra sensitive or highly, what's the term, germophobic, right? Clean freaks.
Yeah.
Will they avoid hotels versus these other options? Yeah, absolutely. I think they will. A lot of people will. Not everybody, of course. But the examples of how to manage that we spoke about today already. Vinicius was saying, please don't look like a nuclear reactor with everybody wearing gloves and everything. No, you should absolutely follow what's recommended. Don't be afraid of wearing a mask, maybe making it a smiley mask. Brand your masks with your hotel branding so that the guests take the branding back with them and start, giving positive word of mouth. You can turn these situations around, but you definitely need to reassure the guest, like you always do, that the hotel is safe. The hotel is following best practice. There's no risk. It's a safe option. You absolutely need to do that like you always have, but to another level, obviously, because of the coronavirus. Now, whatever steps you've already taken, I'm sure you have, highlight them. Don't assume the guest knows about the hand sanitizer or how often you're wiping down different things. Whatever it is you're doing, share that information in a friendly, non-threatening way to reassure your guest. But if we forget about the pandemic and rewind 18 months, guests will choose those other types of accommodation that you mentioned for very different reasons for why they might stay with you. But I definitely understand that they might appear, so those other types of accommodation might appeal more when customers are a little bit scared and taking their first steps after lockdown and want to avoid any possible infection. However, like we've mentioned a few more times, this vaccination is growing quickly. I've already had my first needle. I've got to wait 10 more weeks for the second needle. So as more and more people become vaccinated, that's essentially a larger traveling population that'll be starting to mobilize. But I completely understand the fear and the worry. Hopefully we've given you some practical advice. Thank you so much, Erik.
Yeah, definitely. Erik, I think you touched upon, sorry, can I just say one more thing, Vinicius?
Sure.
I think you just touched upon a really important point actually as well, which is the demographic of people that are being vaccinated. So, we're going from the older folks to the younger folks. So, talking about the difference in your segmentation of your travelers now. Not saying anything. In Spain, that's how it is. Okay. So maybe your younger families do want to go out and be in a vacation rental, and maybe your baby boomers or over 40s, want to be are fine to be in a city location and actually are happy to not be with the children and the young families. Who knows? Maybe that's a segmentation opportunity right there.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, everyone. We are finished our session today. Just remembering that and this afternoon we will have the pitching sessions again with 5 awesome outstanding companies. So invite everybody to come back at 14:25, New York 11:25, LA. We're going to have a pitching for 3 hours, and we are being different from other pitchings that we saw online on different sides of the world. We are providing 35 minutes like this. If the companies want, they can share not only a presentation but also shows you the platform like this. You can connect and you can check how those solutions can help you, not only in a presentation. So this afternoon, we will have the pitch and sell sessions again. Tomorrow, we're going to have the 4-day of Travel Tech. I'll be moderator. Beside of me will be Clarissa Trezi, Global Sales and Business Development for Travel Tech. The webinar theme will be, the forum theme will be, how can data help improve day-to-day operations? We're going to have Windsor Group, Hubos. We're going to have also, we have a lot of people tomorrow, Hot Inside, Hotelix, and Future State. Join us tomorrow, so don't lose it. You still have the time to register yourself. Go to traveltech.space. You're going to have the registration link there. Like this, you can be able to join us and get your certification. So also, I need, before I forget, if no, a lot of people will kill me. I would like to remind our sponsors for 2021 this year. I will much appreciate and say thank you a lot to Expedia Group, ReviewPro, HS Latin, RM Hub, HiJFE, the Hotels Network, Lybra Assistant Erevmax, Ask Suite, Book Assist, Erevmax, Planet, Book Online Now, and Amelia Travel. Thank you all. The event partner, Revenue Hub, thank for support. Knowledge partner, eHotelier from Australia, marketing agency, GLNPR. All those people that join us today, if you go to the traveltech.space and you scroll down on the first screen, you will see all the LinkedIn contacts for each person that participate and join this panel today. Also the link for their websites. And remember again, if you want to have one-to-one presentation with any of our sponsors, you just need to go to traveltech.space and click on the option tech companies. So thank you everybody, really thank you for everything. I will see you again in half an hour. I'm back. No. After this week, the North American people will say, we don't want to see Vinicius for next year. Don't worry. Everybody's going to see me. We're going to have Brazil, Portugal, May. July, we're going to have APAC. September, Latin and Spain and Spanish, and EMEA to the end of the year. Thank you so much, Zoe, Rudy, Erik, Andres, Basu. Thank you so much. So we're going to give you 1 minute to say goodbye for everybody. So Zoe, you're going to be the first one. Please go ahead.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. So many takeaways for hoteliers and hotel brands out there. I think this session has been truly, rich and insightful. And thank you everyone for joining in and just being such great participants. And thanks for having me.
Thank you, Zoe. You're always welcome. Mr. Erik Muñoz, please.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. I always enjoy listening to hoteliers' questions from different parts of the world, because the hotel business is consistent in many ways, but there are definitely regional differences. So hopefully the TripAdvisor Plus program is something you've written down and made a note of, because there are definitely benefits there if you are looking to attract US guests, so American hotels for sure. But yeah, look into it. I'm very happy to support the Travel Tech brand. Thank you, Vinicius. Thank you, Zoe.
Welcome, Erik. Mr. Soumya Basu, General Director for North America for Erevmax Red Tiger. Please, my friend.
Thanks, Vinny. Thanks, Zoe. Thanks, Andres, Erik, Rudy, and everyone who's in this platform today. Really appreciate it, and we had a very good discussion. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to be present out here. And yes, I look forward to many more like this in the future. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Mr. Andres Moreno. Please, it's your time, man.
Yes, thank you, Vinny. Thank you, Zoe. Thanks, Erik, Soumya, Rudy. I think we had definitely great discussions. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. So just, hang tight, and, hopefully we'll start seeing the recovery as these vaccines progress and consumers gain a little bit more confidence in travel. So yeah, we'll stay in touch with Travel Tech, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Andres. Rudy, it's your time, my friend. Go ahead.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your valuable time. It's always a pleasure to share our knowledge with all of you. Hope to see you soon in a swimming pool without the mask. And this is just a tip, because we were speaking about groups. I forgot to mention family and friends, they may be one of the small segments for groups to travel to your hotel. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Rudy. As one of my preferred rock bands, Queen, said, show must go on. So let's move forward. We have an entire week till Friday of Travel Tech. And this afternoon we have Pigeon. Tomorrow Travel Tech will feature again. Only Friday will be a session without Pigeon. But show must go on. So thank you everyone for the energy, for sharing this, and keep all of you have here for the public. Kisses. See you later.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.